And I'm live. What up? What up? What's up? All right. Anyways, how you guys doing today? Let me know who you are, where you are. If you're in the comment section, let me know how your workouts are going. If you guys are keeping up as well. I saw the guy that I wanted to meet today, who was an old childhood friend, and we met. And I showed him the book that we do. I showed him the book that we talk about. I showed him the coins. I showed him like everything. Right when I showed him the book, he lit up and he was like, "What?" Like he loved it so much. He has a team. What's up, Finn Kaufman? He has 20 teams that are a part of a larger United States thing where like they have like I guess hundreds of teams and like 15 different states. And he's the Colorado affiliate one. And he said like as he's looking through the book, he wants to like buy it for all of his coaches to use. He didn't give me any kind of like gym time with that like that, but he's in Denver, so I didn't really expect any. But he was like blown away because he too played in college D1 for UC Irvine, and he also played overseas for many years. And when we see things like you guys have, who have the book, and what we talk about every single day on this show, I mean, it is like I know that I made it, but like it's pretty remarkable. I mean, it just walks you through the process, and it tells you every single step of the way things to do, things that that you're not supposed to like learn for 10 years of your life. You get to learn in one sitting, basically, or like 1 year. You get to just go over the stuff. Or in our case, it repeats itself every 8 to 13 weeks, depending on whether it's the workout stuff or the team stuff. And to be just flush with that information and to learn it at that depth, it's pretty cool what you guys have. So understand what you have is it's a special thing that we're doing. We're trying to give an enormous amount of depth of knowledge to the young kids these days. So anyways, the meeting went well. We talked about stuff, and he might end up being like a partner of mine, like doing his stuff in Denver and me doing my stuff in Broomfield, which is about 20 minutes away. And what I'm trying to do is create 4 different hubs for all that I do. And if they all follow my book, that would be amazing, because then it'll be basketball taught the correct ways, and then we can form a league around that as well. And then eventually, doing stuff year round, we would be the only 4 programs after a while. We would have teams on every single grade level doing things the right way. And maybe there'll be nuanced differences because, he won't change up everything else that he's doing. Like he takes a few months off to like do this. He believes in a few other things, right? And he likes to teach a certain way, right? So he wouldn't just jump into exactly what we're doing. But if we have enough people doing things the right way, which is what he's trying to do, and we feed all the players into there, then you would eventually have to be a part of it, because players don't look at the type of programs. Most players don't. And parents don't either. Most players go, who is at this program? Is my friend at this program? Are the best players at this program? And that's all that they care about. Does this program have neat color uniforms? All right. They don't think about like the depth of knowledge because they don't know it yet. How can they? All right. They assume that everything that everyone's telling them is correct, but really only a few people are correct. All right. So that's what we're trying to create. And if this guy can help me create this, it'd be awesome. His name is Ross Schrader, and his not quite sure what his program's name is. I need to ask more questions. Anyways, let's start the show. I have an awesome trivia question today, and it might take forever. So I'm going to go ahead and ask it right now, and then you guys can spend the whole show looking at it. But let me at least talk about all the drills, and then we can talk about the stuff, and then we can talk about what the stuff means, and then talk about the motivational quotes and everything like that, and then like the movies, all that stuff later. So I'll just speed through all the workout stuff, since again I have no basket here to show you. And if you want me to stop on any of them, please let me know and ask a question. All right, so first one is fake behind the back. That's for that layup. Fake behind the back. You look for it. 3 decision drill. That's when you are being guarded and you realize that you're either open, guarded, or he cuts with back door with you as well. So it's either the pop out for the shot, the backdoor layup, or the dribble out, do not pass the layup and dribble out for a shot. It's that play based on the defender. Reddick chase drill. It's kind of like cops and robbers, but we do this sideways on the court, going from one 3-point line to the opposite elbow, sprinting. Coach hands it off to us. The person sprints and tries to catch up to us, and we have to shoot a shot by sprinting and then stopping on a dime, jumping straight up and landing straight back down, like JJ Redick. Ankle breaker crossover, off the crossover like this. Step with your leg, hit, go away, move your shoulders like that, and then cross the ball over. It's a fun crossover. You can work on it on your own. Then penetrate and fill drill. This is when you drive from the wing, and then the top guy is going to rotate behind you, so that if you have no one on that weak side, you can stop, pivot, and know that someone's behind you. It's just as important as the weak side wing sprinting down to the corner, just as important as the weak side block sprinting up toward the middle of the key. All right, you must rotate, and everyone must rotate and fill. So penetrate and fill. All right, so that no matter where you are, if the person gets stopped by two people, you're able to be passed too, and the offense should know that someone's behind them, so that they can pivot, and you're their last ditch option. It's kind of like our press break, where if you have no one in front of you and you're being double teamed, you know the guy behind you is there, so you're going to be a safety outlet for them. Last one is sprint, dribble, cone touch. That's with 3 cones, sprinting forward, touch, sprint backwards, touch, and then sidestep, like defensive slides, and then defensive slides the opposite way, and then you want to repeat that. Touch the cones each time without bending down, so you should already be low. All right, you should be bent down low, sliding or sprinting without having to bend down to touch the cones because you're already low enough. All right, that's elementary school. Middle school stuff, one-on-one hurdles for losers, King's drill, chair duo, extended mono layups, athletic finish, ladder to sidestep series. For this one, I'll talk about the mono ginobili layup, extended one. Again, getting that ball up, make sure that you start with it up, that your elbows are up. All right. The reason that our elbows are up is so that we can knock someone out. All right. Don't think that way. Don't say that. But it's really just to protect the ball, blah, blah, blah. But really, we're doing it to knock someone out. All right. So start thinking that way. All right. You have the ball up high. You have it right here. And then when you go, you punch it forward. All right, you can do this in games as well. If you catch the ball high, you punch it forward. Like you want to punch through a wall, you punch through them. And if you can touch them at all with your arms, it's a foul on them. So their head has to dodge you, their entire body has to dodge you, their hands have to dodge you. All right. So if someone does that to you on defense, oh man, what would I say to do? Jump out the way. You should not be getting a foul just because you stayed there. You have to move out the way when someone punches through. But then you can try to kind of chest them up and make it a kind of a hard shot. Did you see your film thing? I have not seen your film thing. I'll check it out. I was busy doing a whole bunch of stuff. But Kenny, who's Kenny? Oh, I'm like Ernie or Kenny, not Chuck. Oh, okay, I'll check it out. Check it out. Did you put it in the homework section? Let me know. All right. Then last one is our high school, and then I'll get to our trivia question. All right. We have alley-oops, wall passes, deflect a layup, zigzag sprint D, anchor layups, and point blank layups. Let's talk about the zigzag sprint D. All right. This is you're digging in with this hand and you're showing with that hand. Make sure that your hand is actively in the passing lane. All right. Even if they're not passing during that certain time, they're just dribbling. You're reaching with this hand just to annoy them, but this hand is out and up, because they want to pass the ball. If they can't pass the ball, then they have to dribble against you. And you should be really, really dogging them the entire time. But if they do pass the ball and you can get a deflection, then you win. All right. So you're making their passing lane that much harder by taking this hand that's normally doing nothing. It's normally at your side or just straight. You're up and you're down with it, taking up the passing lanes. And then once they start sprinting, you want to turn your body and run in a straight line. Like they're dribbling a ball, you're sprinting just to beat them to that spot to make them turn the opposite way. All right, you can't be sliding. Defensive sliding during this time is not playing defense. It's playing horrible defense. So you want to turn and sprint to cut them off. Then when they cut off, you can go for the steal real quick. Anytime that they cross the ball over, you can go for a steal real quick, but then you recover and then you sliding the opposite way, switching hands, and now you're deflecting with this hand. And then if they start to sprint again, you again sprint and turn. And your job is to make them turn. Your job is to make them turn so much that they eventually make a turnover. Your job is to slow them down so that your defense can get back. Your job is just to get in their head and annoy them. And if you have a shot clock and you can take up about, let's say 14 seconds before they get the ball out of their hands because they dribble the ball up the court because they're like, I'm point guard. Then they pass the ball. Now they have 20 seconds on the shot clock instead of 30. All right, so you've just changed the entire game. And the big difference between 30 seconds and 20 seconds on the shot clock is the difference between college basketball and the pros. The pros have a 24-second shot clock because it's more entertaining, but it's not better for offense. It sucks for offense to only have 24 seconds. But for 35 seconds, you can run 2 plays in that time. All right, so if you have a shot clock and you're a defender, you want to guard them full court. You make them waste that time. So then you put them on an NBA level of an offense. They have to shoot it so fast. And if they're doing that from a standstill position rather than a fast break, it's going to be tough, especially for a high school team. That sucks. All right. And Jerry, he wrote me, Jerry, I can't say his last name, XU, and he said, how can I get in better shape? He's trying, he's doing this, doing this, and he wants to get quicker. I told him to get quicker by doing sprints, just sprints. All right, that's the best way to get quicker. Not even just like the cross country stuff. You get quicker, but he wants to get quicker so he can guard people full court. And I told him, like I told you guys yesterday, if you do that, for yesterday I said, if you hit someone on the rebounds, if you hit someone, like you blast someone during tryouts, that's an automatic spot. But now if you double that up by also picking up your man 94 feet or 90 feet, depending on what kind of court you're on, all right, if you pick your man up full court and you turn him, you don't have to get one steal. You just turn him, and you like that the entire practice, you win. You're on the team. You don't have to make one shot. All right? If you hit someone and you can D up full court and you dive for loose balls, that's the third one, you win. All right. Now, if you're on top of all that, if you're in the right defensive positions, doing all the right things, help side, getting through screens, getting the ball and going in really, really strong, now you win. Again, even if you're not a very good player, and then you're actually grabbing rebounds, making smart plays, things like that, you inch your way up into being, again, a really, really needed player, I suppose. Anyway, let's switch up modes to the trivia question. We got 3 people on, so I guess 3 people have a chance to win. Again, one day I'm gonna have this thing done. I am now I had to reorder a whole bunch of stuff for the live stream, so I ordered better things. So we have to wait till Saturday till they all get it, and then the guy's going to come back. He's going to redo all this internet stuff, and then I will be able to keep track of everyone's trivia questions. But for right now, we're going to go by this thingy right here. All right, that tells me a trivia question each day. Normally, we use our history of hoops page, but today we're using this one right here. Anyways, this one is very, very hard. I don't know if you can guess it because the internet couldn't even get it right. Dude, the internet couldn't get it right. All right, this is crazy. Or maybe the fans messed up. I don't know, because it's always fan voting. Here's the question. The question is, and again, try not to use Google, especially if you're Finn. You always win. See if you can win without Google. Again, you can have multiple guesses. I don't care. And I'll give you guys a hint by telling you who it's not in a while. Which was the only NBA team to have 3 starters in a single All-Star game? All right, hint, because you guys are so recently biased. It is not the Warriors. Not even when they had KD, Clay, and Steph, and Dre. No, they weren't all starters. It was not the Bulls. Now, what I did is I typed in the ranking of the greatest trios in NBA history. None of them were this team. It's crazy. So I'm going to read you those people right now. These are the greatest trios in NBA history. And you guys can tell me your favorite ones later on. There's the Lakers when they had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, James Worthy, and Magic Johnson. Those are all 3 MVPs at some point in time. There was Bill Russell, Sam Jones, and Tom Heinsohn back in the 60s for the Celtics. There was John Stockton, Karl Malone, Jeff Hornacek. Decent. There was Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, and Robert Horry. But again, Robert Horry, that's the 2003 Lakers. Nah, it's not them. All right. So Robert Horry is not really like a big 3, right? He's not starting in an all-star game. All right. So all these like big 3 talks, that's kind of silly. It's like LeBron James needs blah, blah, blah. But it's not even the Bulls. The Bulls had a big 4. Y'all talking crap. And one of them was from a different country. They didn't even draft Tony Kukoc. They got Dennis Rodman just randomly. All right. Y'all need to stop giving LeBron crap. Anyways, it was not the Bulls with their big 4. Not all of them were starters. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, another big 4. Then we have Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish. It was not them. The Hawks, nah. They also need a year. And I saw the 5, and I chose the right one, but that was because it was put into my head. I was like, that team was pretty good. This team was stacked. They also won a championship. Another one is the big 3, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh. Now, that's a pretty good big 3. They were not all starters. Another one, Magic Johnson, Kareem, I said them. The second one on this list, Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker. Another great big 3. Not all starters. And the top one from this one is Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Tony Kukoc. And then if I switch to another countdown one, they still didn't get it. Will Chamberlain, Jerry West, Elgin Baylor, who just died. Elgin Baylor, a great big three. They did win a championship. Nope. Not all three starters. Bill Russell, John Havlicek, and Sam Jones. Nope. Rondo, Pearson, Garnett. That's another. But, you have to take Rondo out the list. It would be Pierce, Garnett, and Ray Allen. Rondo was like the fourth. Rondo wasn't even that good, but he became very, very good. He was like kind of like more like a rookie, sophomore player. But that was another big 3/4, not all starters. Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars, and Bill Laimbeer, another great big three for the Pistons. They were not all starters as well. Again, any guesses? These are all the nuts. Who else do we have? Shaq, Kobe, and Derek Fisher. You can't count Derek Fisher. I don't even think Kobe ever had a big three. He only had two, but one of them was the size of two men. So, yeah, that kind of counts. Shaq is huge. Let's see, the Larry Bird one again. Nope, that one again. That one again. And yep, they are not on this list. The only team, Houston Rockets with Hakeem. No, they had Hall of Famers, but they were like toward the end of their career. So Charles Barkley didn't make the All-Star. He might have made the All-Star team, but he didn't he didn't lose in the starter. Same with Clyde Drexler. So no. Anyways, I'm going to move on to the stories. If you want to look it up now on Google, you can. All right. Now your Google skills can count. Again, which was the only NBA team to have 3 starters in a single All-Star game. It's a pretty good trivia question. This team did win. They have one of the greatest players of all time. One player that we've already mentioned. One player we've already mentioned him, but it was when he was young and he wasn't a starter. So they actually had, so this team, they had 3 starters on the All-Star team. Let me check just to make sure I'm not lying. Yeah, 3 starters on the All-Star team. And their 4th guy was a rookie who ended up being a Hall of Famer. That's crazy. And they won a championship. Yeah, it's insane. All right, they also beat my team. If you know my team. All right, that's all I got. That's all I got on that one. And I would have guessed it by now if I were you guys. Let's move on back to the itinerary. We got the quote of the day is, God doesn't make junk. All right. That's a very black saying. I know a lot of black people that say that, especially old black people. Yo, God don't make junk like that. That's my black accent. Is that racist? It's coming from me. It's okay. All right. But yeah, God don't make junk. If you were born, even if you don't believe in God, you were born of stars. All right. The molecules that were put together that took a million, billion, zillion years to get here formed you. Through all this evolution, it's made you who you are. Yo, we're pretty freaking amazing, all right? Like, if we were an instrument, we're probably like one of the greatest instruments in the entire world. I don't want to say one of because of like the new invention of robots, but we're still outpacing them. I mean, we are up there at the very, very least. It's crazy how amazing the human body is and what it can do. And we still don't understand the depths of it. We understand this entire world, but we don't understand 3 things. 1, what's on the bottom of the oceans. 2, what's in the universe. We know like this much. And 3, what's in our own minds. Those are like the only things that we haven't figured out yet. All right, so the depths of the bottom of the ocean, we have not been there. We haven't really like looked at it. It's too cold. It's too hard to get down there. There's some animals that we haven't discovered. Probably like 90% of the animal population on the bottom of the ocean. We've never seen them. The universe, we have no clue what's out there. We don't know nothing about aliens, right? And our own minds. That's amazing. So with that said, God don't make junk. You're not junk. You're amazing. And you must believe that. And you must go with it. All right. So don't forget that. All right. Motivational story before we get back to the trios. Start listing your favorite trios of all time. And if you're a Warriors fan, I mean, list someone besides that one Warriors team. Jeez. Unless you're including Dre and you're not including KD. All right. Because when KD was at it, yo, that was kind of cheating, man. I don't know about that. I thought when Shaq was at it that was cheating. And I'm a Lakers fan. And I was like, we get Shaq now? I was like, oh, that's kind of cheating. Like, but that was just 2 players. People argue so much about the Lakers. Oh, LeBron's stacking his team. Legit 2 players. Now that they're out, they're like one of the worst teams in the NBA. And when LeBron was in there, they were on their way to winning again. They were like 7-2. All right. So, like, I mean, he doesn't have that much help. Now we know. Anyways, 76ers with Dr. J. That is the answer. Did you have to look it up? Let us know. 76ers with Dr. J. That is the answer. They had Maurice Cheeks, who's one of the greatest point guards of all time. They also had a player by the name of Andrew Toney. All right. And it's just so crazy. No, I'm sorry. Moses Malone. My bad. So they had Julius Erving, Moses Malone, who was an MVP in his own right, and Maurice Cheeks. They were all starters. And then Andrew Toney, he was a reserve. So they had 4 All-Stars that year, and it was in the 1983 All-Star game. They went 12-1 in the playoffs that year and swept the Lakers in the finals for the title. All right, so one of the greatest teams ever, and they are never mentioned in the top three debate. Never will someone be like, that Dr. J, Moses Malone, Maurice Cheeks was pretty good. What else do you need to have a big three? And the bench player that I was talking about that did not make the All-Star team that year was Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley was on that team as like a 5th player. And Charles Barkley ended up being like one of the greatest players of all time. And they just had him. And he came into the league banging, dude. It was crazy. Wait, Andrew Toney was drafted by the Sixers? I have no clue who he was drafted by. Let's ask. Alexa, who was Andrew Toney drafted by?
This might answer your question. Andrew Toney's drafted by his Philadelphia 76ers.
The Philadelphia 76ers. There you go. Thank you so much. A name. I don't want to repeat her name or she'll listen again. Anyways, so that's that. Anyways, let me know your favorite top threes of all time. My favorite, even though I didn't grow up a fan of theirs. Yeah, I would say my favorite's the Bulls. Because when I know you're not supposed to love when teams are just put together like that, but when they had Pippen and like Jordan all those years, I didn't like them too much. But when they got Dennis Rodman on their team and Tony Kukoc, I was like, yo, this is the squad. And it was like the first time that I knew that someone did that. So it was really fun because I love Dennis Rodman. He was like, so with all his antics and stuff like that. And then actually watching the games now, because before I used to just cheer against Michael Jordan, probably like you guys do LeBron James, like, oh, screw that guy. I used to always say it. They always pass on the ball. Why does he always have to have the ball? Of course he should always have the ball. They call too many fouls on him. Of course they do, dude. He's the face of the league. They don't want him getting hurt. All right. So, and that was like in the 90s, of course. They didn't call any fouls for them in the 80s. But when I saw that team put together and Dennis Rodman was my favorite player in the league, I had a whole new respect for them. I used to watch them so much, and they were amazing to watch. So that's my favorite big 4 right there. Let me know who your favorite big 3 or 4 is. Motivational story is, life is not happening to you. Life is responding to you. This is absolutely true. You dictate what life hands you. If you make up your mind to be successful, odds are you will be. But it starts early, and it's every second of every day that adds up to the life you've chosen to live. Now, I asked this guy that I met today, just like I asked everyone, what do you value most? And I said, and list the order. And I have this page. I think it's called 50allstars.com/value.html if you want to see it. But you can move the sliders, and the sliders move from making players better, winning games, showcasing talent, and making money. And I asked them to sort it. But as you move this one, all the other ones move down. So you have to like balance them all. If you make them all at 20, 25, they all be even. But me, I just make this the improving players to 100, and the rest go to 0. And I like that because the other ones are dependent. I mean, if you make players better, you'll eventually have showcase players. If you make players better, you'll eventually win. If you make players better, you'll eventually get some money too. So, but if you try to do any of the other ones, it doesn't make players better. It makes them actually like a little bit less better. So I asked him, and he understood it right away. He's like, yeah, I want to put all this, but you do need some money. And I was like, yeah. So, your favorite trio is Hakeem, Barkley, and Pippen, and Drexler. That was a good team, man. Did they end up winning it? I don't know if they even won, though. Did they win? They might have won. That was the second year. It was just Mario Elie and Ori the first year. I don't know. They didn't win because Barkley never won a championship. That's crazy. Yeah, that was a good squad though. But anyways, I told him an analogy about it, and I said, imagine if you were trying to kill someone. It's really, really easy. You just kill them. But that's not what people are trying to do. People try to kill someone and get away with it, or and not kill anyone else, or and not whatever like that. I mean, so the more complicated you make it, the harder it is to do what you want. So if your goals, and hopefully they're good goals, not like killing someone, if your goals are to make the NBA, well, just do that. Just do that one thing. If your goal is to become a better player, just do that one thing. So don't complicate things too much, because again, life is not happening to you. Don't be like, oh, why did this happen to me? Why did this happen? You can't have that mental, you can't have that mental approach to everything. You affect the world. Think about it. The world's huge, 8 billion people. If no one did anything, nothing would happen. All right? No one would get into drama. No movies would show. No bank loans would be foreclosed on and stuff like that. No money would change place. You wouldn't have anything to eat. All right. So all these things happening to you in life are happening because someone's doing something, right? So it's people doing it. It's not just like Mother Nature, whatever, right? I mean, tornadoes happen, yes, but people are creating it, and you're one of those people. So if you can't see life that is that's something that you are affecting, you think too small of yourself, or you think too large of other people. You are one, just like everyone else is one. So again, I'll read it, but listen to it closely. Life is not happening to you. Life is responding to you. This is absolutely true. You dictate what life hands you. Right? You're in charge of it. Whatever life gives you, you're in charge of how you respond to it. If you make up your mind to be successful, odds are you will be, period. But you have to be successful at that one thing. You can't pick 10, 20 different things. If you pick one thing, you got it. It's yours. All right. But it starts early. You have to start early with it. And it's every second of every day that adds up to the life you've chosen to live. So if you only want to work on basketball for 30 minutes a day, well, then you're going to be a 30-minute a day basketball player. That's 1 out of 48. That means you're living, 1/48th of your true potential. Now you do have to sleep, but even that takes away. So again, it's like, what can you do with what you have? So if your parents are making you do 8 hours of homework a night, you have to sleep 8 hours and then go to school for 7 hours, well, then you only have an hour. So your goal is not to be the best basketball player that you can be. Your goal is to be the best basketball player that you can be under the conditions that you are in. So you must judge yourself by that. Out of everyone who has only an hour a day to work, you want to be the best basketball player. Out of everyone who was your height and had an hour to work in your neighborhood, you were the best basketball player out of those people. All right, so whatever you're given, you work with it like that. And if you can change some of these factors, like give yourself 2 hours a day or change something like that, then you put yourself into a whole new category. And if it's a category that you want to be in, then you've done the right thing. So find out what those people are doing, find out what their limitations are, find out what their strengths are, and then put yourself in the right category, and then you kick that category's butt. All right, so that's the goal. That's what we're trying to do. Make sure that you guys are still doing your challenges for the day. 8th grade challenge is what? Finish day 24 of our 2-minute 2-ball dribbling challenge. Keep each dribble low and fast. Keep up the good work. I will watch the homework section, and I'll talk about it tomorrow, Finn. So make sure that you guys add your stuff to that as well. Make sure you guys are watching the movies, doing your stuff, and just let me know how things are going. All right, great job, everyone. You guys keep trying, and I'll keep pushing on my end as well, and I'll let you guys know how things are progressing on my end as well. All right, talk to y'all later, and great job again, Finn Kaufman, with the trivia question. Peace.